Hey guys, with the whole COVID situation being indoors a lot, I thought I'd just do a little video of the evolution of my action figure collecting. I think with a lot of middle-aged men like me, it started off with Star Wars and collecting their little action figures. But 5 points of articulation, I guess to a kid, is fine. But nowadays, not so fine. Anyways, I picked this one up off eBay used because all my originals were lost as a kid. Then I went off to college, and concentrated on other things, cars, work, that kind of stuff. But maybe around 7 or 10 years ago, whenever Hot Toys put out this baby doll, I got into 6 scale action figures, and I was just amazed at the detail that they would have. So obviously there's plenty of reviews of all the figures you're going to see, so I'm not going to get into it much. I'm just talking about what I did as a collector. Anyway, six scale was just too big to collect, so I sold them off except for these two, baby doll and a Soldier Story Soar action figure. So that was that. Went on to other things, but then somewhere along the way I've discovered 3A, and these are a 6-inch or 12th scale, and I'd never seen such a small action figure with clothing, like actual fabric clothing. And so I had to get them. Back when these first came out, the earlier ones, like the zombie and stuff, they were like $30. And although very stylized, in their appearance, I was just more fascinated by the fact that someone could sew up clothing this small. I'm still bewildered. I'm not sure how small the heads are on the sewing machines of these things, or if they're done with some sort of computer-controlled sewing machine or what, but it's amazing. Unfortunately, 3A has priced themselves out of my budget, and I got some of their robots as well up in that same case. These things are like $100 now. So, and then in the aftermarket, they're just ridiculously expensive. So, I stopped collecting 3A a while ago. Several years ago, I stopped collecting them, and then concentrate on RC cars and stuff, other things like that. But a few years ago, whenever Mezco put out their armored Batman, I got back into the 6-inch scale. And this thing has light up eyes and a real metal chest armor. But after doing research, I came to realize this is actually a knockoff or a KO or a copycat of a Mezco armored Batman. I had no idea that copycats and fakes existed. It's amazing what people are willing to copy to make some money. But irregardless of it being a copy, this is quite an excellent action figure. So after watching great videos by The Foosh and The Amazing and several others YouTubers, my collection expanded out to, I don't know, maybe 50 or so action figures. And my opinions are, Figuarts is a great company. They make high precision parts and high detail because they have the most advanced molding technology that I've ever heard of because of their Gundam model kits. So, the only downside of Figuarts is in most instances their action figures look too clean. Boba Fett's supposed to be a grungy character, but he looks pretty clean there, Anyways, this Darth Vader is also a copycat, a KO. So, anyways, Hasbro, they make great action figures for the money, $20, $25, but they are toys. The plastic they use is softer, so it doesn't, hurt someone when a kid throws it at their siblings. Whereas hobby grade stuff, they're using a more rigid plastic and get finer details. But anyways, pick your poison, I suppose. A couple model kit even, Bandai model kits, but that's a Figuarts R2-D2. Anyways, I'm starting to slow down collecting these, to be honest with you, at least the non-cloth figure ones. Because cloth just looks more realistic. You can just see, you're covering up the joints. There is a place for all plastic figures, articulation. If you want to get great poses, you need to go with all plastic because the cloth actually bunches up and restricts movement. So it's realism versus posability, I suppose. But you know, besides the articulation, just the details are amazing at almost all price points now. Like this, I forget his character's name, Scourge, I think, from the Thor Ragnarok movie. That face print is, looks like the actor, and that's on like a Hasbro $20 action figure. Of course, Mezco's gonna get it right in most cases, but this is a far more expensive action figure. So this Iron Man back there is actually made of all metal, and most parts are metal. I can't remember who makes it though. Comic Cave, I believe. Anyways, Damn Toys, they came from the 1/6 scale market and entered the 1/12 a few years ago. And this SAS character has a cloth jumpsuit. They have a subsidiary brand, I believe, called VTS, Virtual Toys. I think it's owned by Damn Toys. And this is their little take on a Catwoman. And this character's chest is actually like some sort of silicone. It's a rubbery chest. But most importantly is this bodysuit here. It's like a nylon, and it stretches fantastic. It lays fantastic compared to the all-plastic Mafex or Mafex version. Very gappy. So I think it's a decent figure, but not for the price. Because I think Mafex, after importing and shipping, it's $60 to $100. Whereas this VTS, I think I paid like $50 for it, and it's just more realistic looking. Damn Toys, if you actually take a magnifying glass to their weapons in most instances, like this pistol, you can actually read the text on it. This little pistol, it says Sig Sauer or something on there. I forget, but the VTS, I didn't see any text written on it. Anyways, Reveltech is a great company. They did this Harley Quinn. Reveltech, I think, has the best articulation of all the companies. Mafex is pretty good with articulation as well. But, I don't know, I kind of feel like, well, I was going to say it's not a good value because they're generally very expensive, but they are pretty awesome looking. These two characters here, Venom and Spider-Man, I think they literally are the best representations of comic book characters. So, they look like three-dimensional comic book characters. Old figure arts, Daft Punk, you can see, the evolution of their articulation. It's not very clean, it's very blocky, very gappy, where it's with the more ladder figures, they look a little bit better, I think. They're learning. Every company learns and improves, which is nice. This Popeye by Mezco is awesome. And then of recent, crazy figure is that Desert Storm. I believe it's a Desert Storm operation character. I could be wrong there, I apologize. But this Metal Gear Solid figure from Lim Toys. And DID, or Dragon in Dreams, is the high-end brand from Dragon or DML. And they're known for making many 1/6 figures. And they recently entered the 1/12 figure. And I would say this is the best figure to date as far as detail goes. Whereas Damn used to be my favorite to date, like this Vietnam Charlie Sheen look-alike. But this German is also from Damn, and you can see on the pocket there, the top is just like glued on to the bottom. So it's mimicking a pocket, but it's starting to peel off. But the cost of this was probably half the cost of this DID. So the DID cost twice as much, maybe. But the pocket here, although you can't open the top of it, it actually has the bellows, stitched in there. So it's just far more realistic, in my opinion. And then running a close second, I think, is probably this Lim Toys. I mean, this is done very well. The skin texture on this is the best I've seen so far. I mean, this looks like a hairy armed man here, even though it's a video game character. Quite amazing, really. So anyways, so that's what's going on with those guys. My lesser favored figures, I suppose, are up in these smaller cabinets. You know, just a few others here. These Revoltechs, again, as far as articulation, this Deadpool Revoltech can be folded almost, it can be folded up into a ball. The articulation is that insane. The Wolverine not as articulated, but Deadpool can do amazing stuff. So that little girl back there is a Figma. But honestly, Figma characters are just at the bottom of, towards the bottom compared to the other brands I've mentioned. McFarlane, this banana character, Peely I believe it's called, from Fortnite, the video game. It's just a weird looking character. I've never played the video game or even seen it, but this character is just so weird I had to get it. So, and then lastly, my little Spider-Man cabinet. So Revoltechs here, they're actually clones, knockoffs. This middle Iron Spider is a knockoff, and I would say you should avoid this. You can see the gappiness and the skinniness of its torso. It wasn't copied very well, whereas these other three are original figure arts, and they are nice. They're smooth in their action, and you can just feel the quality difference. So anyways, that's where I'm at with my figure collecting. I'm going to continue on with 12 scale or 6-inch, whatever you want to call it. But no more 3A. It's just too expensive in my opinion. When you can get, I mean, they don't look like real humans as far as their faces go. Fantastic clothes. I guess if you did a head swap it'd be nice. But they reuse their hands all the time. Like these, look at these hands from the zombie. They're actually the same, just different colors. So they share a lot of parts very often, same hands. You know, the females generally use the same body type, at least these do. So the value is diminished when you have brands like DID, Lim Toys, Mezco, you know, putting out cloth and Damn Toys, VTS Toys, putting out fully cloth clothes that actually do look like real human beings. So people have to catch up. I am going to downgrade that Knight back there from Coup Model. The thickness of the parts make it feel very toy-like, almost Hasbro-like in their thickness. The only problem is, you know, Coup Models they're probably 3 times the price of a Hasbro, so I'm not sure where they get off justifying their price. That Samurai Knight back there is from Coup Model, and it is a nice character, but again, I'm not sure if it's worth 3 times the price of a Hasbro. You know, whereas I think Mezco can get away with their pricing. Damn Toys is a pretty good value, I think. And DID, although expensive, is right now, I would say, that and this Metal Gear Solid by Lim Toys are probably the pinnacle of 1/12 or 6-inch action figures right now. Alright, well, take care, guys. Hope you enjoy staying indoors as much as I do. Alright, bye.